we invite you to take a look at one of the hottest phones of 2016. The Xiaomi Mi Mix is arguably the most beautiful phone to come out of this year. It's one of the few devices that had our hearts racing when it came time for unboxing. It starts off with its design, which is just spectacular. The display is a centerpiece, quite literally, with a massive 6.4-inch screen, 1080p resolution, and some super slim 2mm bezels. Looking at the screen still messes with our mind every time the screen lights up. The edge-to-edge design is made possible by a few innovative solutions. For one, the front-facing camera is positioned below the screen. Then, there's no earpiece above the screen. Thanks to piezoelectricity, you hear callers through the screen itself. There's also no proximity sensor, so the phone senses your face by using sonar technology. The screen itself is an LCD and only 1080p in resolution, but the pixel density is quite enough. More importantly, it's a very good panel with superb brightness and great contrast. The only thing to complain about is the only average outdoor visibility. The rest of the Xiaomi Mi Mix is equally as impressive as the screen. On the outside, the Mi Mix is almost entirely made out of ceramic. The frame, the back, even the side buttons. This makes the Mi Mix quite slippery as a result of the rounded edges, glossy finish, and hefty weight. On the upside, ceramic has a hardness close to that of sapphire, making the Mi Mix quite resistant to scratches, as well as wear and tear. Our unit had a few minor scratches on the back though, so maybe it's a good idea to use the leather case included. Ceramic is brittle though, so you'd better take extra measures not to drop the Mi Mix. Xiaomi's latest MIUI 8 is on board the Mi Mix and it runs on top of Android Marshmallow. MIUI has been developing its style for years now and has a colorful, simple look and a very loyal following around the world. In its 8th version, MIUI adds dual apps and dual spaces. Dual apps lets you have two separate instances of any app, which is very neat as you can have two WhatsApp accounts on the same device. Dual spaces lets you have two independent phones, essentially each with its own apps, settings, and content. Switching between the two takes ages though. An addition we find most useful on the large Mi Mix is Quickball, which is a floating navigation bar that you can use to operate the unyielding screen. There is no split-screen multitasking mode, so we hope it comes with Nougat-based MIUI. Everything runs snappy on the Xiaomi Mi Mix thanks to the fresh Snapdragon 821. The Mi Mix comes in two storage and RAM configurations, and storage is plentiful on both. If benchmarks are your jam, the takeaway is this. The Xiaomi Mi Mix is on par with the other Snapdragon 821 powered phones. It's only ever really beaten by Huawei's own Kirin 960 and Apple's beastly A10 Fusion chip. The Snapdragon 821 chip is only slightly more powerful than its predecessor, but is way more efficient. Combined with a potent 4400 mAh battery, the Xiaomi Mi Mix is a real endurance champ. It produced a 97-hour score in our proprietary test, which is among the best we've seen. The Mi Mix comes with a Quick Charge 3.0 adapter in the box too. We were able to top up 35% of its battery in half an hour. Imaging on the Mi Mix is covered by a 4K video 16-megapixel camera with a relatively wide f2.0 aperture. There's no optical stabilization though, and the sensor is smaller than on most flagship competitors. On the positive side, the resolved detail is up there with the best, and the dynamic range is great out of the box. No HDR required. On the negative side, there's a lot of noise even in good light, while low-light images are grainy and unimpressive. The 5-megapixel selfie camera doesn't impress either, and is placed awkwardly at the bottom. To avoid the awkward angle, you can flip the phone upside down. Videos are great in resolution, color, and contrast, but noise is still visible. So let's wrap it up. The Mi Mix is easily the most innovative phone of the year. It's also hands down the best looking phone on the market right now. In fact, Xiaomi did an almost perfect job with the Mi Mix, and the best part is we didn't even see it coming. Mi Mix quantities are still low, but you can order it regardless, although you'd have to pay a pretty penny for it. Even the starter 128GB model demands a premium price. But consider what you get: a phone with a ceramic body, a stunning display, the latest Snapdragon chipset, and a fingerprint sensor, for around the same price as a 32GB Pixel or the iPhone 7. If we were to pick a fight with the Mi Mix, we would point out that Xiaomi doesn't have an official brick-and-mortar retail presence, so you'd need to import the phone and hope you won't need to deal with international warranty claims. Perhaps a higher resolution AMOLED display would have added even more to the high-tech allure of the device. We wouldn't have minded some waterproofing too, but let's just say these are some things we'll be looking forward to seeing in the Mi Mix 2. But even without those, the Mi Mix remains a spectacular device, and we suspect its very existence will shape the industry for years ahead. Be sure to check out our full review over at gsmarena.com.